Very much for being with us on the broadcast and also sharing your take. Now let's shift our focus to other developments. Harvard University's South Asia Institute, bankrolled by Indian billionaire Lakshmi Mittal, distanced itself from the Pakistani conference it platformed on Sunday after the backlash from some Indian students. The Indian students of the Harvard University have demanded that the university to issue a statement condemning the Pahalgam terror attack, where Hindus were targeted by Islamist terrorists of Pakistan. Students have made the following demands from the Harvard University. Demand 1 is to issue a public statement and condemning the Pahalgam terror attack and affirming support for the victims of the religion-based violence. Second demand now erupts from the review of the participation of Pakistani officials at the Pakistan Conference 2025 in light of their government's ideological and rhetoric support for groups like Lashkar-e-Taiba. Third demand is that to provide emotional and institutional support to the affected students through the Office of Equity, Diversity, Inclusion and Belonging. Meanwhile, take a listen to Surbhi Tomar, who is a student at Harvard University and a student who wrote the letter to the Harvard University. She has said that the students from 65 countries were in support of these demands. Take a listen.
Surbhi Tomar and Rashmini Koparkar, thank you so much for talking to ANI. Really appreciate your time. Firstly, if you could just introduce yourself and how long have you been studying at the Harvard University and what are your fields of study?
Thank you. Namaskar. I'm Surbhi Tomar. I'm a fellow in the Edward S. Mason program at the Harvard Kennedy School, and I'm pursuing a mid-career master's in public administration. And I've been studying here since the summer of 2024.
Namaskar. My name is Rashmini Koparkar. I'm basically an assistant professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University, New Delhi. My field of study is international relations, and I'm currently here as a visiting scholar working on my research on Central Asia. And I have been here since the summer of last year, 2024.
Great. Thank you both. Now, let's just take you back to the day when this event was held at the university. What specific connection did you make between the recent terror attack in Pahalgam and the Harvard's Pakistani officials being there on campus? Surbhi?
The attack in Pahalgam, and it was a very horrible attack, was a targeted religion-based massacre. When Harvard invites officials, especially officials who have ideologically justified such acts, it risks legitimizing the state-backed terror narratives on our campus. This is the reason why we thought that we should take some action or ask people to take some action.
Surbhi, can you just give a brief background of what really happened and what this event was?
The event in question was the Pahalgam attack. Indian students in Harvard were very concerned about what happened, and we had been collecting a lot of support from fellow students. Around 65 countries, students had represented us in certain things that we had done in the campus, which is where a lot of concern was raised about why certain people are being invited on campus to speak and giving them a platform when they should not be given such a platform to speak and legitimize their voice.
Aditya Vadavan, my colleague, is joining me live on the broadcast to share more details. Now, Aditya, as we have just heard the Harvard University student expressing about what exactly is happening in the university worthy of condemnation. There has been uproar, the concerns have been raised. What are you picking up as far as the university maintains a stand in responding to these demands that have been made by the student union groups and many Indian students there?
Well, absolutely. When the demands have been raised by the, very rightly, the demands have been made by the Indian students at the Harvard University, they have absolutely, in absolute terms, they have condemned this barbarous terror attack, that has happened in Pahalgam. And Harvard is one of the universities where many Indian students are enrolled. So this will definitely be this demand of the Indian students there in the Harvard University. Definitely be looked upon, because there's a large Indian number of Indian students who are studying in Harvard, and they've all come together, to call out the bluff on the sinister Pakistani actions and the terror groups that are operating outside in Pakistan. And it is very crucial, it is very important to note that in this regard, if let's just put this into perspective, that US has shown full support to India. US President Donald Trump has said that US stands with India shoulder to shoulder, and even the US Director for National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, has shown full support and solidarity to India, that that the perpetrators of this cowardly terror attack in Pahalgam should be brought to justice. So it is indeed, now this will be very, it is a very significant thing that the Indian students enrolled in Harvard have asked for this demand, and they have condemned this heinous terror attack that happened in Pahalgam. Yes, Simran.
Well, all right. In fact, thank you very much, Aditya, for sharing more details. Damodar Singh, the defense expert,